Hi guys, hi boys and girls. It is Friday, April 3rd, 2020. We are doing science with first and second graders. We are doing properties of materials is the unit. We're doing lesson 1.5, activities 3 and 4. Let's review our vocabulary words. Does everyone should have out in front of them vocabulary words? And let's review properties, observe, test, ingredients, mixture. We're going to be making a mixture and we're going to be using ingredients in our mixture. We're going to test our mixture. Same thing as a mixture is a substance. We're going to have evidence whether our substance works or doesn't work. We want it to be a sticky glue, but we're going to test it and then have our evidence whether it's going to work or not. Our design goal is, what do we want it to do? We want our sticky glue to stick. We want to be able to stick papers, cloth, materials together. That's a goal of ours. We said we wanted to help Mrs. E with the what she needed to put on the play, which apparently is not going to go on this year, but let's just pretend that she was putting together what she needed for the play and she needed some glue, special glue. So our design goal is going to be special glue for Mrs. E for the costumes and the decorations for the play. We're going to record our observations. We're going to make our predictions before we test. There's going to be a cause and effect and a pattern. So that is a review of our vocabulary words. Everyone should have the vocabulary words out in front of them before we start so that you can refer to them during the lesson. So yesterday we observed our dry glue ingredients on page 12 of our science notebook. I'm going to put it in the chat, page 12. Yesterday we observed the dry ingredients. Now our dry ingredients were salt. We observed them and we wrote down what we observed. We have baking soda, we have flour, this is my flour, we said the flour was nice and soft and fluffy. The flour, F-L-O-U-R. And I didn't have cornstarch, so we're going to pretend that this is cornstarch, but I have here sugar. We're going to pretend this is my cornstarch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have some in a cup. We're going to take our spoon and remember the safety lesson. No putting in your mouth, no tasting. We can touch it, we can smell it like a scientist, we can look at it with our eyes. Now again, these are not dangerous ingredients, but if you were in a lab and you were working with dangerous ingredients, you would have to be protected with gloves, eye goggles. You wouldn't put anything in your mouth, and when you smell something, you go like this. You don't put your nose in it. So we have a whole list of safety instructions at the beginning of your notebook, if you want to review those. So we recorded our observations on our table on page 12. So now we are going to take a spoon. So this is what we started yesterday. We're going to take a spoon. We put 1 spoonful of ingredients in. I know that observing means using my senses to gather information about something. So as I observe my ingredient, I will focus on what it looks like, feels like, sounds like, and smells like. Should I touch it directly? No, you're going to use the spoon. You can use the spoon to see what it feels like. Are you going to taste it? No. After you observe, you're going to record. Okay. So you're going to watch what I do. Safety goggles if you were here. So I'm going to add water. I'm going to change our mixture. Right now, our mixture is one ingredient. Right now, our mixture is one ingredient. So I'm taking 1 teaspoon of salt, right? I took 1 teaspoon of salt and I put it in my cup. This is a dry ingredient. I'm going to add water to it and we're going to see what happens. So the second column on page 12 says observations of wet mixture. So we're going to make all of our mixtures wet. We are going to add another ingredient. So our second ingredient is going to be water. So our first ingredient is salt. We have salt is first. We are going to add water to make it a wet mixture. Then we're going to observe it and you're going to write your observations on page 12. So, add 1 spoonful of water. I have my bottled water here. I'm going to add I'm adding 1 teaspoon of water to our mixture. So now we're going to observe, oh my goodness, what has happened to our dry salt. The mixture now has changed. The ingredients have changed, the mixture has changed, the substance has changed. Now we have a wet mixture. So what are we going? Oh, now it has a very salty smell. Okay, so observations of our wet mixture is, in the book it says grainy and a bit clear. So actually I'm going to say it's cloudy. I'm going to say it is cloudy and grainy. Our ingredients changed to salt and water. That makes our salt cloudy and grainy. Do we want to taste this? No, it will not taste good, and we don't ever want to taste anything during the lesson, only if your teacher says it's okay. But this won't harm you, but it tastes pretty bad. If it was sugar, that'd be a different story. So we're not going to be tasting anything in our science experiments. It definitely smells a little salty. It definitely got cloudy. With my eyes, I can see cloudy. It smells a little salty. I'm not going to taste it, but I know it would taste salty. And when I stir it, it sounds a little grainy. So I'm going to say, page 12, Noah, I'm going to say cloudy and grainy. We're doing page 12. We are doing observations of our wet mixture. So our salt is going to be grainy and cloudy. So for page science, Page 12, I'm going to say the wet mixtures. On our chart, the salt is cloudy and grainy. The salt is cloudy and grainy. Second column. The second column on page 12 is talking about wet mixtures. I just added water to the salt. So the mixture changed to cloudy and grainy. Yes, Noah, we're doing science. Science page 12. You must have left for a little bit. Okay, so our next mixture. So our mixture went from white, hard, and tiny pieces to grainy and cloudy. Grainy and cloudy. When we added water, grainy and cloudy. So we should have made a prediction. We should have made a prediction on what we thought would happen. And now on page 12, you're going to write what really happened. We observed it. Now you're going to record it. Record it on page 12. No, we'll wait till after class for that, please. So, the white, hard, tiny pieces, we added water, it changed to cloudy and grainy. So, next ingredient is baking soda. The baking soda yesterday was a white, scratchy powder. Yesterday, our baking soda was a white, scratchy powder. What's going to happen to our baking soda after we put water in it? We're going to change the mixture, the ingredients, the solution, the substance, and what is your prediction? What will happen? Is it going to get hard? Is it going to turn a different color? Is it going to smell? Is it going to look different? Is it going to make noise? Is it going to taste different? Is it going to smell different? Make a prediction of what you think is going to happen. Okay, now we're going to add our water. We're adding a teaspoon of water to our baking soda. I don't know if I had a whole teaspoon. To our baking soda. Now, it's kind of very soupy. Our dry mixture that we just had in here now changed. It's kind of milky. There's no smell. There's no smell, but it's kind of a milky, kind of like milky white. And it's very liquidy. So, if I move it with my spoon, I'm going to add more. Let's add a little more baking soda, see what happens. Let's try to make a paste. Oh man. When I add, it's kind of like a sticky paste. It's a little sticky, I gotta say. Kind of sticky. Stickier than our salt. Our salt wasn't sticky. This is kind of little sticky. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna write that this is our baking soda. It went from a white scratchy powder. I'm gonna say that after adding water, it's kind of a smooth, so our baking soda, after adding the water, I'm going to say makes a smooth, this is my record of my observations, a smooth, runny paste. So baking soda, after adding the water, it's kind of a smooth, runny paste. It's kind of pasty. I have to say, it was kind of pasty. And we're going to test this out. We're going to see if this works as a glue. So, I put down a smooth, runny paste. You can write milky, liquidy, you can put down what you want. That's what I put down, smooth, runny paste. Next ingredient is our flour. Next is our flour. I got way too much flour in here. So I'm going to just, let me pour some out in the garbage because we really only want a little bit. So I'm going to take my flour, going to add my teaspoon of water, and we're going to mix this up. And this went from a white, soft, fluffy mixture to, I don't know if you could see this, but it is a, it is like, it went from our nice white, soft, fluffy mixture. We added water to the flour, and we got, this is the flour, and we got a thick, scratchy mixture that sticks to my spoon. Look. It's definitely sticking to the spoon. This might be a good paste. We're going to test it. Ew, sticky. Yeah, sticky flour. I got to wash my spoon off. So I'm going to say that my flour, add water, wet mixture. It turned into, my flour turned into a thick, scratchy, sticks to the spoon. Those are my observations. Observations. Look at your vocabulary word. Like slime. Those are my observations of my dry to wet. We went from dry to wet, and we're observing. So, the next ingredient, I have sugar. I have a lot of sugar in here. I'm going to spill some out. So, here's my sugar. Teaspoon of sugar. I have to clean my sticky flour spoon off because it is, the flour is stuck to it. That might be a good glue for us, right? You're going to predict which one you think is going to be a good glue. So let's put the flour away. This is sugar. We're going to add water. Emily, you have to mute, honey. Gotta stay muted. Now I used sugar because I didn't have cornstarch at home, but wow, this is pretty grainy. I'm gonna see if I can order some cornstarch, but this is sugar, so it's not gonna be the same as the observations in the book. My observations in my book are do not match this. So we're gonna have to take this out of the experiment because this sugar is not working good. All right, so let's put the sugar away. I'm gonna try to order some cornstarch over the weekend. Okay, so just leave cornstarch out for now. Now what I want you to do is, in the next column, no, wait till the end, please. So the next column on page 12, I want you to predict which substance do you think will work best as a glue for our school? So on page 12, let's predict. We did the wet observations, so now you're going to predict sticky test predictions. Predictions is on your vocabulary words. Predictions, down here, predictions. You're going to predict. You're going to make predictions about what you think will happen with our sticky glue test. Write down if you think the salt will work, if the baking soda will work, or if the flour will work. We can't really do cornstarch right now. So, if you think salt will work, put a check mark. If you think baking soda will work, put a check mark. This was the salt. If you think this is going to make a good sticky glue, check it off. This is the baking soda with the water. If you think this is going to be a good sticky glue, check it off. And if you think that this flour with the water is going to be a good sticky glue, you can check it off. So I'm going to find cornstarch. I'm sure I could get that delivered. Okay, so let's cover up my water so I don't spill it. Sticky test results. Okay, does everyone check off what they think? We observed the wet mixture. I have a question for you. The purpose of adding the water was to remind you that you are observing ingredients to figure out which ones might help make a sticky glue. So, my question to you is, are any of the dry ingredients that we observed sticky enough to hold something? When our ingredients were dry, Noah, the ones that we're making. Okay, we have 5 minutes. The dry ingredients, when they were dry, can any be used as glue? So, when the ingredients were dry, Could they stick anything to something as glue? No, no they cannot. Um, 12. Page 12. We're still on page 12. The whole lesson is on page 12. I am asking you questions about the ingredients. The dry ingredients are not sticky. They cannot be used for glue. When we added water, we changed the mixture. We changed the substance. We changed the ingredients. We are trying to make a sticky glue. So we added water to our dry ingredients to see now, are they good enough now? Can they become a sticky glue for us using the ingredients that we had with adding the water to make them sticky? So we made our mixtures, observed it, we stirred it up. After you observe, write the words that we have. Okay, we wrote the words that describe the wet. Okay, so the properties of the mixtures are the dry ingredient plus the water. Those are the properties. Those are the ingredients. Have the class. Okay, so the next part of the lesson is discussing properties of mixtures and ingredients. That was activity 3. This is activity 4. Discussing properties of ingredients and mixtures. So everyone knows what the ingredient of the first one was, right? It was salt. Ingredients was salt and water. Those are the ingredients. Vocabulary word. Those are the ingredients. We made a dry mixture and then a wet mixture by adding water. So we changed our ingredients because we added water to all of our ingredients. So now our mixture and our substance has changed. By adding water, we changed it from a wet powdery substance to a sticky wet substance. We changed it by adding water. So we made mixtures by combining or adding 2 ingredients together, the dry ingredient plus the water. Then we observed these mixtures carefully. So now, what did you observe about the first dry ingredient? It was the salt. What did you observe after you mixed in the water? That's what we just did. The consistency of the mixture changed, right? Was it sticky? Did you notice any smell? Repeat the above procedure with the remaining ingredients. Okay, so we did all that. We mixed everything together. This is the next activity, activity 4. And we recorded our observations. So we changed it, we mixed 2 ingredients together, we changed the substance, we changed the ingredients, we changed the properties. Then we observed. You need to use these vocabulary words. We observed our mixtures, and then we recorded our mixtures. You know what, guys? I'm sorry, this would be so much better if we were all in class together and we were all doing it together. I know it's kind of hard just to watch me do it, but it's going to be different because it's hard to do science on the computer. But, so I'm doing it all for you. That's why we're still on page 12, because I want to go over. You would normally be doing all this activity in class. There were similar properties amongst the dry ingredients and amongst the wet ingredients. There were similar properties among the different mixtures, such as powdery, soft, grainy, and then after we added the water, there was also similar properties of the new ingredients, right? Of the new mixtures and substances. Fluidy, liquidy, sticky. Were any of the wet mixtures similar to each other? Yes. Yes. So, ingredient plus ingredient equals mixture. Everyone say that. Ingredient plus ingredient equals mixture. Vocabulary word. Everyone say that. Ingredient plus ingredient equals mixture. That's what we just did. We added 2 ingredients together, made a mixture. How can the properties of a mixture change? You can add a new ingredient. We added water. We can change of a mixture by adding water. Then we're going to go over this again on Monday. I'm going to repeat this on Monday. Because then what we're going to do next is we're going to test. These are our observations. So next we're going to test our mixtures. And I actually need to stop science now and go into social studies, but I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna have to do this without you because everything's gonna dry up over the weekend. All right, we're gonna have to, we will review all of this on Monday, and then we will test our, we will test to see which one actually works. So everyone made their predictions, and then on Monday we're going to fill in page 12 with our test. Okay? And then we're going to go on. Okay, I think that is all for now. We will review this on Monday, lesson 4, and then we're going to test our ingredients to see which one can be a sticky glue. They might all be, they might none of them be, one might be, we don't know. But we'll test it on Monday. Okay, guys? All right. So there's no homework. We're going to do this test on Monday, and then we're going to go on. Okay. Bye.